Hello, it's time for my weekly update on things happening in and around OEA. As we see bad news coming out of places like Georgia where reckless decisions have been made regarding school reopenings, we want to make sure that those kinds of outbreaks of the virus aren't happening here in Ohio. That's why we continue to advocate for safe and equitable reopening plans across the state. I want to give my deepest appreciation to everyone who is advocating at the local level. We have seen hundreds of districts delay the start of the year or change their reopening plan thanks to your advocacy. We saw the governor come out and take a small step forward last week in mandating masks for students. We need to keep the pressure on, especially as we're seeing an increased number of children who are testing positive for COVID, and new research that suggests that the impact even on those who are asymptomatic can be long lasting. We need to make sure that as we fight to make sure that all students have quality learning opportunities, that we're also fighting to make sure that schools are safe. So keep up the pressure, keep up the good work on that. As the board acted, as you're aware, on our position statement, we reported that we had heard from members across the state and that 69% of members told us that they just didn't feel safe going back to school this fall. If you want to see the full results of that member poll, you can go to ohea.org. You can link to it right from our homepage. Read the full results. There's some interesting information on a variety of topics. And also, if you didn't get a chance to participate in that poll and you want to provide input, please click the survey link. We still want to hear from you. Share that information with fellow members around the state. We want to hear from everybody. Speaking of our website, we have a call to action that is ongoing right now, asking Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose to take action that he has the authority to take to make sure that voting is fair and accessible for everyone. We know during this time of COVID that more people than ever before are going to need to be able to vote by mail or vote in other ways early. There are steps that the Secretary of State can take right now without any legislative action to make that easier for everyone. Please go to our website, click on that link to take action, call on the Secretary of State to do the right thing so that we can all vote safely this fall. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to sit down with Hannah Halbert, the Executive Director of Policy Matters Ohio, and present Policy Matters with the 2020 OEA Friend of Education Award and have a really good conversation about the need for resources, especially from the federal government, to make sure that we are meeting the needs of students. Whether we are in a remote learning mode or we're in an in-person learning mode, all schools need more support. We need Congress to act. We need to keep the pressure up on Senator Rob Portman. Please take action today. You can also go to OEA's Facebook page and watch the full conversation that Hannah and I had on behalf of OEA and Policy Matters. It was a good conversation. I want to thank all the locals that are engaged in back to school activities, encouraging new hires to their districts to join our union. Thanks to everyone who has invited Vice President Wensing, Secretary Treasurer Hill, and myself to participate either virtually or otherwise in those back to school activities, in particular Pickerington, Newark, Huber Heights, Washington Local, Dublin, and a number of others that have invited us to participate. If you would like our involvement, please reach out. And finally, speaking of membership, as you're probably aware, the dark money group Freedom Foundation has been mining data from our members around the state so that they can send a wave of mailings and phone calls and emails encouraging them to drop their membership. It's despicable. It's despicable on a lot of levels. It's despicable because this is an organization that is blatantly disregarding the privacy of our members. It's despicable because, this is the same organization that's pushing an anti-worker, anti-safety, anti-science political agenda. After all, they're the same group that in Washington state sued against mask requirements. And most importantly, it's despicable because they are asking you to weaken your own voice when you need the support of your union more than ever before. I want to thank everybody who has stepped up and shared photos with me of you throwing those mailers in the trash. Keep in mind that we are stronger together and we are going to continue to have each other's backs. That's all for this week. Make it a good one.